So what was your favourite memory about school, Sam? Don't say the SpongeBob costume.
My favourite memory about school? I don't know. It'd probably be something shit. Like, oh, I know. Because, no, I mean now. Because, like, something I would have found fun then wasn't for now. Like, I remember though. Right. Oh, fuck you know. Oh, man. I can't even tell the story, man. Oh, man, I can feel the laughs kicking in already. It's probably not going to be funny anymore, but it's so funny just thinking about it. So we were in science with my mate Jordan. And we just never did any work. We were just cunts, right? Because school was just easy. We were just those people who just, you know, the exams were bullshit, weren't they? Yeah. So we did no work the entire lesson. And our teacher, who is usually sound, must have just had like a bad day. And she was like, right, I'm taking you to see the head, like our head of year. And he brings us in. And he sits us down. I can't handle it. He sits us down. Yeah. And he looks me in the eyes, but he looks me in the eyes, but he goes, oh, what? He looks me in the eyes and he goes,
better be good.
Mate, he goes, my son's brain doesn't work as good as yours. Right? Right? And he goes, but he still does 10 times more work as you. And I'm just crying, but trying not to laugh, pissing down my eyes. And then he screams at my mate, he goes, and you, what would your mother say if she knew about this? And he just goes, she'd probably be pretty cheesed off. And then I just broke laughing. Oh, mate. Oh.
Fucking hell. Right,
well. That's still funny to think of now, mate.
Mate. Yeah, I saw some teachers have some outrageous breakdowns, right? Like some pure breakdowns.
I just don't get how you care that much, like.
Right, so get this, right? We used to have this music teacher, right? And I don't even know if it was true or not. Like it's just warped through the sort of like prism of time, you know. But here's the thing. I remember this, right? She was in a car accident or something and had to have a metal plate in her head. And then somehow it got round school that if you hummed a certain frequency,
it makes it vibrate or something.
Yeah, no, it would just drive her nuts. It would just drive her nuts, right? So every time she used to come into the class, we'd all just be there like trying to hit the frequency, like going up octaves and shit. She'd be like, stop this! Like, yeah. And then it turned out it was a real sad story. I won't tell it here; it'll kill the vibe. But like, yeah. I mean, like, let's just say, if I could go back in time, maybe I wouldn't be one of the humming ones. But yeah, so like, I remember one time as well. Fucking this geography teacher that we had, he had a full breakdown. You know them like massive meter long, rulers or whatever. He like tried to get everyone's attention because everyone was just talking and yucking it up, you know. And he smashed it off the table, right? And it just shattered. It's like, I swear to God, this shard of plastic just smashed this girl in the eye, nearly blinded her, right? So he's just dealing with that now. You just blinded a girl in your class. You blinded a kid? Yeah, you've just blinded Emily. Like, she's absolutely bugged for life. She wasn't even doing nothing. That's mate. I was like, thing is as well, because it's like she's wrecked, like she's screaming and crying and all that. And he's immediately had to go over and comfort. He's thinking my job's all over. We're all just like, you know what I mean? Like,
I thought your life.
So anyway, what you were supposed to say. What you were supposed to say was best friends. My best friend. That was the answer I was looking for. And the reason I bring this up, Sam, is because I don't know if you've heard about this, but there's now a movement through sort of Europe, and indeed it's coming to UK and everything else, where they want to ban. And this sounds insane, but it's genuine. I'm going to give you a link here. They want to ban best friends.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? Indeed. Well, if you can bring up the report, and basically what they're saying is, there's this school in called Thomas Battersea, and they're saying like having a best friend is actually it's too exclusionary, and they've been doing this in like some US schools for a while. and in Canada as well. And basically what they've said is like any kids who call somebody else a best friend, you have to like pull them to one side and explain that that's not okay. Right? Because what you're supposed to be doing is you're supposed to have them in broad groups and not you're not allowed a best friend anymore, basically, in these schools. Oh, and they also do this other thing, right, where if your child's like having a birthday party, you're not allowed to circulate invites at school unless you invite every kid.
What the fuck?
Now think about that, right? Because I'll tell you this: when I had my birthdays when I was young, I might not been the most popular kid in school when I was younger, like actually young enough to have group birthday parties at the local leisure centre or whatever. But there was still kids beneath me in the social pecking order that I wasn't having there. No chance.
The snobs in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The smelly meth kids that that you don't associate with, and then like when you get older, you look back and you're like, wow, he lived in grinding poverty. I should have been a bit more compassionate. Those ones. So now you have to invite them all if you want to circulate your invites at school, which is like obviously the most convenient way to do it. You get all the kids in a room. You can come, you can come, you can come. And if you don't give an invite to everyone, this is why I think they stopped like Valentine's Day cards as well at most schools.
Fucking hell, why are they just removing all rejection from kids' life? They're just never going to be used to it.
I know, you need the rejection, don't you?
Yeah, you need to fucking wake up. No, you're not coming my birthday, I don't like you. You need that in your life. That's something that molds your character. Yeah,
well, look, here's the reality. Not everybody's going to like everybody else. It's not that, it just doesn't work like that. So, yeah, I mean, fuck... I remember Valentine's Day. You don't get any cards. Do you know what I mean? Like you just sat there, and the popular kids got like 20. Yeah. But it doesn't mean anything because you're like 9. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. What are you gonna do? No one's doing anything with it. It's just like some sort of weird little perceived social status. Imagine being one of those popular kids. Gets the 20 Valentine's cards and the fucking adoration when he's 9. He gets to 16. He's finally old enough to start fucking doing something about it.
He'll be going to uni for liberal arts and
and it's all dried up, hasn't it? It's all dried up. No Valentine's cards now. I peaked at the right time. I peaked old enough to get laid. I'm all right with it. I don't mind those years where I didn't get Valentine's cards. Yep, can't do nothing with that. So, yeah, and then I even remember, in fact, like there was some kids who just were blatantly never going to get any. And you know what I'm talking about, Sam. There's some kids that just aren't ever going to get Valentine's Day cards, ever. It's just not going to happen for them. And I remember we had a teacher who used to write sneaky ones, with the from question mark for those kids. And they'd be made up,
Bit creepy, isn't it? Sending Valentine's cards to kids, you little creep.
I mean, again, you probably couldn't do it these days. Probably is an instant dismissal, but this is what went on when I went to school.
So you've been the secret admirer of 12 children.
Hey, you've got a Valentine's Day card. How does it make you feel? Over 50,000, and you'd be super happy about it the rest of the day, But yeah, you can't do it anymore. So no besties, no rejection of any kind. Everyone is equal friends in the new glorious utopia. I just couldn't believe it when I saw that story. I was like, please don't let that be a thing. Best friends are fucking great. You know what I mean? Like, it's mad. Then I saw this, which kind of loosely ties on. There was like a PSA about a new form of bullying. And I was like, oh, a new form. Kids are sophisticated these days, Everyone's saying like, with all this like interconnectivity, you can't get away from the bullying. That's one of the problems we face with bullying these days, You go to school, you get wrecked. And where me and you used to just be able to come home and just be like, yeah, fuck it. Sit on the couch, you know what I mean? Go play some football down the park with the boys or whatever. Fucking now, apparently it's like, oh, just go on the internet. Ping, ping. There's all messages at you, tweets at you. They're on you. Obviously there's ways to get away from it, but I suppose kids, I don't know. They don't want to, do they? They want to, but they don't, do they?
Just don't want to.
So obviously there's all this like talk about cyberbullying these days, and how it's a problem, and it's true. It's like, I guess it's a lot harder for kids these days, isn't it? Because because you've got an online presence, we didn't have to worry about that. Yeah. Like I don't have to worry about all the stupid shit I said or did. Like, here's the thing: I used to be in a fucking band, and for the first couple of years I was doing it, it was fucking terrible. I'll never have to worry about that surfacing. But I suppose if I was going to school these days, that would be on Facebook, just follow me for the rest of my life, But anyway, so what could the new form of bullying be? And this was an article about roast me.
I mean, that's just not bullying, though, is it? If you're asking to be roasted.
That's what I thought. But it said, this is on the New Jersey real-time news. Hashtag roast me. New form of cyberbullying parents should know about. And they said it's called roasting.
I don't think you understand what's going on.
Yeah. A new form of cyberbullying that experts are warning parents about as it becomes particularly popular among children and teens. Often under the hashtag roast me. The trend involves people uploading videos of themselves on social media and asking to be roasted.
Correct.
Correct. Now, I immediately... Right. And then it goes here, and it goes on platforms like Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit, friends and strangers then go back and forth, posting barbs about the person in the video, often including hurtful and humiliating attacks.
Indeed.
That's the game. That's the point.
It's like signing up for Fear Factor. It's like, they made me eat kangaroo knobs. Yes, Fear Factor. That's kind of what you signed up for. Like.
Yeah. You said you were eating the knob. You signed the waiver. You're eating a knob.
Don't get it wrong, don't you?
No, shut up and eat this dried kangaroo knob. Why is it always kangaroos who are having the knobs off? I love it. Mad, isn't it? So yeah, look, see. So the new trend might be hard for some to understand, with some asking why a child would intentionally ask to be publicly humiliated. Yes. Banter, of course, banter levels. However, experts like Stephanie Humphrey, a tech life expert, says children may not always know the difference between being funny and being hurtful to their peers, and that parents need to be aware and vigilant with their child's social media activity.
Well, Stephanie, some experts may not know the difference between asking to be roasted and purposely giving hurtful comments and receiving them involuntary.
So then she says here, I think we have, this is the Stephanie Humphrey. I think we need to have the proper mindset to have about this. It could be harmless, but when hundreds of people have access to you, that is a completely different scenario. I think we need to be careful not to dismiss this. The tools make this a much more dangerous thing. And then she says, it is actually a form of digital self-harm.
What are you even saying?
Almost the same as cutting.
No, it's not, though. No, it's not. Stephanie, your box is gone. Your box is gone, Steph. What the fuck do you mean?
It's unreal, isn't it?
She's lost it, mate. Someone have a word with Steph.
Did I ever tell you about that, by the way? Because you said the box is gone. I ever tell you about that guy who...
The guy, speed guy.
Yeah, when we were up. Yeah, I'll just repeat it again because obviously it's super sad. Like Gary Speed, Newcastle legend, Welsh legend, so obviously very close to my heart, and committed suicide. Like really tragic. It was the anniversary of it. I think a few weeks ago. Well, I think he would have been in his 50s now. And we were having dinner with someone, and he basically said, "Oh, I tell you what. I know what happened with Gary Speed," because it was a bit of a strange death. It was like he'd had an argument with his wife and then he turned up dead in the garage, and some people were like it was a cry for help, and what was going on with it all. There was a lot of really strange intimations in the press, and I went, "Oh, what's that then?" Thinking he might have some insight or he might have heard something, because you know what it's like. It's close communities in Wales and stuff, People talk, people hear things. I used to remember Craig Bellamy's brother used to come into the boozer I used to work at quite on the regular, and you'd hear all this, news and gossip and whatnot. And he looks up, dead serious, and he goes, "His fucking box had gone." And he did the fucking lip wobble.
Just looking at him.
Sound
check, please.
Sound Sigmund Freud. You cracked the case wide open, didn't you?
I let you off once before, but you still got the nerve to come back here and make trouble again. Eh?
it all mean?